Welcome, Cancer and Cancer Cross Watchers, to your reading for this week. So we have the Ten of Voices, or Ten of Swords, at the bottom of the deck, and then we have Strength and the Ace of Voices, but that would be the Ace of Swords. So, Cancer. I feel like there's this. I'm kind of getting this feeling where, like, almost innocently, it feels like it's one of those moments where, like, you hear a noise and you turn around and you see something. You may have kind of felt the energy of it beforehand. And it's almost like you have to do a double, like you have to look back again because you weren't quite expecting that. For some of you, it feels like it is, I mean, it could be a person, like a romantic interest. But I'm not really feeling that. It feels more that it's almost like it's something that seems a little bit boring, I was going to say, but it's not quite that. It's like you found a diamond in the rough here, right? Like, other people might think that this is something that's not worth having, but it's exactly what you've been looking for. It's almost like you're, you're driving around and you see somebody putting something out, and it's exactly what you've been looking for. And it's almost like you can't believe your luck. It's exactly what you were looking for. I feel like you are really embodying that energy of, like, you put it out into the universe and then you get back to work on something else, and it arrived. I feel like you were obviously, doing all of the things required of you to bring that into your life. But I feel like you didn't know it could come this quickly. It feels almost a little bit like shocking, strangely enough. Not in a negative way, but just in a, like, whoa, I didn't expect that to get here that quickly. Hold on for a second. Here's the thing, though. If this is a person, I feel like they have some really rigid beliefs. They may be somebody that they may be very hard on people at times. It's the type of energy where they like, honed themselves into somebody that is very disciplined, and they don't put up with anything less than that level of discipline in other people. And it's kind of this thing where they see you, and you may embody all of the things that they used to believe were ridiculous or silly, and they're like, oh, it feels like you kind of hit them like a ton of bricks. It feels like you kind of floored them. There's something about you that seems to fly in the face of a stereotype that they would have had about you. I feel like the stereotype about, whatever it is that you are that they're looking at, they kind of assumed that you would be lazy, and that's not the case at all. You seem to be really, really full of life, and it seems to soften them. I feel like they do kind of, whenever they get into that, lovey-dovey sort of energy, I feel like they do, they give their head a little shake and they kind of snap back into this very disciplined energy. And the longer you're around, the harder it is to do that. The harder it is to furrow their brow and have this kind of scowl on their face. just your energy, your presence seems to make them happy. It makes them smile. It's almost like you make them feel like you seem to make them kind of forget all the stress of life. Like you just make them feel like everything's going to be okay. They may be somebody that has pushed a lot of people away, that's really set themselves up in a way where they look like they're, the boss sort of energy, but they've shut a lot of people out to survive. And there's something about you. It's like you don't need anything from them. You're not the type of person, like you have no desire or plan to, worm your way into their life. They'd be so disappointed if that's what happened. It's kind of like you've made them believe that maybe the world isn't all bad. Can we get one more on the other side of this Ace of Voices? So we have the Muse, or the King of Voices. So, hold on for a second. You know what it kind of feels like? You might be involved with someone else. So the Muse of Voices would be the King of Swords. This person seems to have like a real, it's almost like they may not be ready or willing to take a leap with you. But it's like as soon as anybody comes around, there's this real protective energy. And it doesn't, I'm gonna be honest, it does not feel like they're trying to be like, if I can't have cancer, nobody can. It feels more that what are you doing here? You better not be here to stir up some dust. It's almost like they don't believe anyone is good enough for you. It doesn't feel like they're trying to push people away until they're ready, or it doesn't feel anything like that. It just feels very, very protective. That's the Leo card, right? If ever you've known a Leo, that's their jam. Protecting the people that they care about. And whoever this is, whether it's your partner or somebody else that's interested, they see them as someone that's like a double talker. I feel like they see this person as somebody that accidentally tells part of the truth in their lie, and then they'll back off that truth and continue lying. And that's how they see this person, true or not. And they feel like you're too happy, too almost like unassuming of a person to pick up on it. And even if that's not the case, because I'm not feeling that really strongly, it may not be for most of you. I feel like if they have that kind of opinion of you, I feel like that works into some of the stereotypes that they have rather than on observed behavior. I feel like they're about to get really, really, not angry, but like they do not like what is going on here. They feel like that they seem to be held back by something. They know that there's nothing that they can like say or do about it. They seem to be, it's almost the type of energy that like if they open their mouth, it's like there's going to be a lot that comes out of it, so they're just going to keep it shut for a while. That's kind of what it feels like. It's almost like they have to kind of get over the initial being angry part before they open their mouth and do anything about what they think is unjust here. And I feel like they kind of end up seeing you. Hold on for a sec. They end up being like impressed with your strength in that, you know, if this person is bringing, you know, a pile of banana peels, you know, just trying to find a creative way to say garbage, is bringing their garbage to your door, you seem to be able to reject that person and their chaos without making them feel rejected. You seem to have a way about you that people always leave you feeling better about themselves than they did before they you know, interacted with you. And this person's like, they see it as such a gift. You're just a natural at it. They don't actually know how deep the well of you goes, because it seems to be never ending, because you at least to them appear to never run out of kindness. So I think I'll leave it there, Cancer. I love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.